All right. Hello, hello, Miriam. How's your day been so far?
It's been good, thank you. And yours?
It's been great. Thank you for asking. Now, Miriam, I'm excited to chat with you about your professional experience because you have a beautiful resume. So, if you don't mind, let's jump right into it. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Miriam, as well as your professional career.
Okay, so I have many years of experience as an administrative assistant. I worked in corporate. I worked in the Supreme Court of New York City. I've done temp job for a while already, and I've worked in different types of companies. Very well known companies, Bristol Myers, Novo Nordisk. I worked for the state of New Jersey as well as a temp for about 6 or 7 years. And I am a responsible and like to meet my deadlines.
Absolutely. That was a great introduction, and thank you for that, Miriam.
Mhm.
Um, I also have your resume pulled up here for myself. And you, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, your resume is very experienced. And I say that because a few key job titles I see in your resume are one, an executive assistant to the president over New Jersey.
Yes.
You've also worked as an HR administrative assistant and moving so forward to a few other administrative skills. So very much tenure when it comes down to your experience with the administrative slash executive assistant role.
Thanks. Mhm.
I want to know a little bit more about what your day to day look like at those roles. So if you don't mind, tell me an example about one of your previous roles and what your day to day looked like there.
Well, on my previous roles, like the last that I worked for the Department of Human Services in New Jersey. I worked there for a year and a half, and I assisted three attorneys. Where the department was Fair Hearing Unit, where the clients that were getting help from the government, Medicaid, they will call in because sometimes they weren't satisfied with the outcome of their benefits, and they will request a fair hearing. Where that's when I came in. I would get the attorneys would give me all the information, and I will enter into the system and forward it to the Department of Law, where they will schedule a hearing with a judge, and they will call in also to see what's going on with their case, and I will tell them to send them to the Office of Administrative Law, where they will provide them with better information and updated their profiles also, because sometimes even they will send, even if their profile wasn't in the system, sometimes they will send new information, and I will have to update it on the system for them.
Amazing, amazing. It sounds like your day to day was jam
Uh,
packed. I can only
Yes.
imagine with communications with the
Yeah.
clients and
Hmm.
the firms or the court nonetheless.
Yes.
Um, Amazing. Now tell me a little bit because I'm looking at one role here at ABB Turbocharger as an executive assistant to the president. So tell me kind of what your day to day was for that role.
Well, for that role was they were moving to Florida.
Mhm.
Um, and I was in charge of making sure that the people that were going to New Jersey to be trained, so that they could work in Florida, I have to make sure that they had a place to stay, their meals, schedule appointments for the president, and make sure that everything that they wanted to be sent over to Florida was in order before they will ship it out.
Perfect. Well, thank you for describing those two roles for us here. Now, I want to kind of move forward to the communication because we know that in these roles you have to have precise communication
Yeah.
with your manager or your direct report. So, how do you ensure that you have clear and effective communication with an executive or a manager who has a very busy schedule?
The first thing is you try to get them in the morning. If there's anything important, you I would try to speak to them in the morning before they leave for their meetings, and make sure that everything they needed they had, and everything I needed to know I would be informed in the correct way.
Absolutely. So you do more of those morning check-ins before the
Yes,
day gets started, seeing what they need for you, what you can do for them as well.
correct.
That's amazing. And so we know with administrative roles, you're possibly tackling a calendar or two. So walk me through your process for managing multiple calendars and then scheduling meetings with many attendees. How do you handle the complexity of that?
I make sure that I open everybody's calendar, and even if they're from outside, I try to communicate with them and let them know what is the best day and time and for them. And I will look at everybody's calendar, make sure that they had that specific time available, and give them like half an hour before their last meeting and half an hour for the next meeting.
That sounds
Mhm.
amazing. And we know that in these roles, we're bound to get feedback here and there as of our executive team. So what's your preference in receiving feedback? And have you received feedback? And can you share an example of how you improved your work?
I always like to get feedback from my supervisors and managers, and because you want to know where you need to improve. So I do enjoy it doesn't matter to me if I get feedback, and how often, every now and then.
Amazing. That sounds great. I think feedback is always something that we should get, right? Because if we don't get feedback, how do we know how to improve or what we're
Right.
excelling in? So
Mhm.
that's amazing. And also, as far as systems, Miriam, what are some systems that you are familiar with or have used in your last roles?
I've used Microsoft Office. I believe 2011. That's the one that I've always used.
Amazing. And then how about utilizing Google at all? Have you used the Google Workplace at all?
No, I'm not at work. No, I haven't.
Majority of your roles have been
Mm.
through Outlook or
Yes.
Microsoft. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, if we were to be using Google, how quick are you able to, with proper training, how quick are you able to kind of jump on board?
Um, right away. I mean, you mean of using Google?
Yeah, as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as, yeah,
I don't mind using it right away. I like to learn new, products and everything.
perfect. That sounds amazing. And Miriam, as far as any upcoming time off, do you have any time off coming up in the next 30 days or so?
No, no, I'm free for the next 30 days so far,
Awesome. And
unless I win lotto.
that's right. That's right. And how soon are you looking to start a new position?
We're almost at the end of September, maybe the first few weeks in October, maybe October 13th.
Okay. And if my client was looking to have someone start right away, would you be able to, or are you looking to start perhaps the beginning of
Yes,
September?
yes, yes, I will.
Awesome. Well, that sounds amazing, Miriam. I want to go ahead and thank you for the time that you spent with me this afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but don't hang up on me quite yet. Let's continue
Okay,
chatting.
okay.
Thank you.